Focus. All right. Hi, guys. Welcome back to my podcast, The Unedited. Today is one of my, I feel, most important podcasts I've ever made and will make. It's about my life and about my adoption story. It's not completely considered over, but it is a very big milestone. I'm going to try my best not to go off too much. I'm going to try to make it as easy to understand as possible. There will be definitely a few pauses here and there. Sorry about that, but I don't edit my videos, so sorry about that. So we'll start with my story, what I went through as a child, said being adopted, and kind of all of that. So I was adopted at birth. So I've always been with the same family all my life. I was only with my birth mother for 9 months while I was in her womb. About 3 or maybe 4 is when my parents finally were like, sweetheart, like, you're adopted. Because I didn't know. I was like, these are my parents, come on. But they're like, no, you're adopted. And I had no shame about it at all. I was young and I was like, yeah, I'm adopted. It's cool, whatever. But other children don't understand what that means. When I would tell them that, I got a lot of different reactions, I guess, and I do somewhat remember in first grade we had to make this beautiful poster about our life and our family, and so I did, and I brought up my adoption, and my entire family is white. I'm not white. I don't look like them at all. So this confused a lot of the kids I was friends with, and they began to bully me for it. Me not understanding why, I got really upset, and for a long time, I think my brain was shutting down from the confusion. The second, I think, worst experience I had as a child was when I was in second grade, and this girl that was also mixed, I knew what my birth mother's name was. I told her what my birth mother's name was. She said, oh my gosh, that's my mother's name. That's your birth mom. I'm in second grade. I'm very gullible, and I have trust issues now, probably because of this, but I was told like that was my birth mom, and I was so excited. The day came that her mom was supposed to come into the school for like a parent thing, and when I saw who she was, the girl said, I'm sorry, I was just joking around, I thought it was funny. And I think that is the first time I lost this concept that trust was something I could ever have with anyone. I'm trying to get through these parts a little bit quick because I feel like I've overcome them, ifly. The third thing happened was when I was in 7th grade, and I was sitting in class. Guess we were talking about family or something, and I was like, oh yeah, I am adopted. Like, I was proud of it still. And she goes, oh, what? Oh, I'm so sorry. I said, why be sorry? She's like, because they'll never love you like real parents do. I remember going, what? But I don't think I let it register. So those are some incidences I had as a child where I was confused about my purpose, my reasoning. Was an adoption a good thing or a bad thing? So once you get older, I'll be honest with you, once you're in high school, things like that, people are like, oh, that's so cool, because they're finally old enough to understand what that means. And I think, and I wish parents would educate their children on it a little bit earlier, because it really messed with my head and who I was. But I kind of just pushed that all down. My 16th birthday came along. It's just 16, the big 16, get your driver's license, everything. And I was informed suddenly by my mother that I had a note written to me by my birth mother. And I was like, what? She was like, I wasn't supposed to tell you. You're not supposed to get it till you're 18. Now, why would my parents hold on to information about my family until I was 18? Well, what happens is there have been a lot of cases where parents of said adopted child will come and take their child back 10 years into the adoption, or just crazy incidences like that. It's for the protection of me. And it's also good to live a life where this is my family and I'm able to distinguish the difference and not have to worry about thinking I have to pick or choose at a young age, because you're just not developed enough. I still don't feel developed enough to take in such a huge part of your life and distinguish what you want with it. So for 2 years, I'm thinking, I have this note from my birth mom and I'm going to read it when I'm 18. It's like 2-3 months before I get this note and it starts to hit me. Now I decided that I want to go to therapy just for to better myself and my self-esteem and just little things I needed to fix on. But I realized that was a big part of it for sure. I didn't know what I wanted, how I wanted it. I was afraid of what was going to happen, what I was going to read. So, I mean, you're thinking in your head, does my mother love me? Will she say in the note that if she wants to see me? Well, just all these questions you have, which are totally okay. But I was like, do I have the right to question? Because I have this amazing life with this amazing family, with my amazing brothers and my pets and my parents. I have the perfect life. I mean, I have my trauma, I've had things I've gone through, but at the end of the day, in all honesty, I have it way better than most people do. So, here comes my birthday. I'm turning 18 on the 28th of September, and I get the note that night. I read it, and I bawled my eyes out, obviously, because it was everything I wanted to hear, in and out. I even got little pictures of my birth mom and me, and then my biological sister, brother, and then my father. So I had all of those, and then on the back of those papers, I had all their full names and their not their information, but their date of birth, things like that. So I was like, I can do research and find them. That night, I was just on it. I went to the web and I started searching. So obviously, I searched my birth mother's name first. Super hard to find. I found her address maybe, and then a phone number, but that phone number didn't work. So I was kind of losing hope. I looked up my brother and my sister and my father. I looked up their names, couldn't find anything. I was having a really hard time, actually, trying to find them. So I kind of realized maybe this isn't meant to be, and maybe I'm not meant to find them. Maybe it's the fact that my birth mother has passed away and I'll never get to contact her. Maybe something happened and I'm just not meant to. Then 2 days later, I can't keep track of time. This week has passed by very fast, but 2 weeks later, or not 2 weeks, 2 days later, I wake up. Well, before I wake up, I have this dream. My brain gets really big, my head gets really big, and I'm some all-knowing human. I know all truth. I know every law of conservation. I know all the laws of the universe. I know every question you could ever ask me. I know it. I'm the smartest human on earth. But there's one thing I don't know. It was either 6 or 8 people standing in front of me, but their faces were blurred and I had no clue. That was the only thing I didn't know. And I kept running towards them, and it just felt like I wasn't getting there. And then I woke up at 4 a.m. in the morning. I was like, are we for real? I'm trying to sleep in. But it was 4 a.m. and my brain's just like, research one more time. Just do it one more time. So I thought, I know a lot of older people are on Facebook, so I'm just going to go to Facebook. I'm going to try it. So I go to Facebook. I search up her name again. Again, she hasn't been active on this account since 2019, so I'm thinking, there's no way I can contact her. I say, let's just go to the friends list. I see a woman on there, Jessica, and then her last name, which is my brother's last name, but I'm not going to give all that stuff away. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't have a sister named Jessica, so I'm thinking maybe it's a different mother or something, but same father. So I tap on her thing. I'm like, please, 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 please. It shows in the bio, married to Ryan, last name. And I'm like, that's my brother. And I'm like, either this is a crazy coincidence or this is what I've been looking for. It only took me 2 times. But so I DM'd both of them. I said, hey, Jessica, I believe you're married to my biological brother. And I kind of just said some other stuff. I don't remember. And then I DM'd him and said, hey, I think you're my biological brother. This is Ireland and XYZ. I just went back to sleep after that. And I just said, look, if this is meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's not, it's not. And that was it. And I wake up in the morning, and the first thing I did was check. And they both responded. Jessica goes, oh my gosh. For the past 3 years, me and Ryan have been sitting down, figuring out how to find you to see if you are great and okay. And it was so nice to know, that someone was looking for me. And 3 years. I mean, they did ancestry tests, everything. I didn't take an ancestry test. I took a DNA test to kind of see like, oh, am I from what part of the world am I from? But I never did it to where I could see who who I was related to, just because, again, my parents didn't want me to be found, I guess. So I was just like, no way. And I started freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I found them. And he was so happy, and he was like, I've just been looking for you, and, all the things. So we started to catch up. We planned on calling that day. Oh, so we did. We called that day for an hour. And I mean, he told me every detail. I won't say I think I was prepared for it all. I've had to process it. From what I know, as I've been told, is I was adopted. 4 years to 5 years later, they had to be put up for adoption just because my birth mom wasn't in the place to take care of them. And my birth father was not a good man to them. And that was also a big issue. And it sucks to know that someone you're related to could do such things to people you love that you haven't even met. And brings me chills to even think about it. I'm not an emotional person, but when I heard his voice, something came over me. And I don't know how to explain it. But to know that someone in my family was looking for me, it was just something you can't explain to other people. He also informed me that, my birth mom was not in the right place of state of mind. He gave her a lot of chances and she didn't take them, which really sucks because I was hoping she had gotten better and they were all okay. And that wasn't the case. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I know he wanted her to get better, and I know I wanted only the best for her, knowing that she could barely afford groceries for 2 weeks. Knowing that kind of information, I only hoped for the best. And it was unfortunate to hear that it wasn't. I think once the last thing in your life is taken from you, that being her kids, she lost motivation maybe to change. And I see her. I don't understand what she's going through. She's always had a rough life. So he warned me, hey, if you call her, just be careful. Because I've given her chances and she's decided that she's given up on the relationship they had or could have had. And I think she felt guilty in a way. She thought maybe it was best that she stays away from them too. I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. So he gave me her number. I called her. And it just wasn't what I had hoped for. The note really left me in tears because I think in that moment she was getting better for sure, and the wound was new and open and fresh, so she was able to pour out her heart. But knowing now that she's not in that state of mind anymore, it was like talking to someone who just wasn't there anymore. And she said a few things like she did in the note. And then after that, it just felt like she wasn't interested in anything. She said, I don't know what to say. And I'm like, I get that. It makes sense. But I didn't want to have to be the adult in the situation and ask the questions, but I had to be. It just sucks knowing that she didn't get better. She got worse. And that she's a bit selfish. I mean, she chooses herself over her children. It sucks, but it is what it is. After that conversation, which was just dull and just not what I expected, I decided to call my sister. When I called her, it felt like I was just calling my birth mom again, but in a different body. She was occupied with something she was doing. We just talked casually. It was weird. Just felt like she didn't really care too much, which is totally fine. But it hurt a little because I'm so excited to meet them, and it just seems like they don't care. It was only Ryan and his family that sounded like they truly cared. And it made me really happy because I realized maybe what I wanted from my birth mom I can't get. But maybe the relationship me and Ryan can have, my biological brother, we can have a relationship, and he can have another sister who wants only but the best for him. I mean, after hearing his life story of everything he's been through, I almost feel guilty that I have it so well. Because, I mean, he is where he is today because of what has happened. Now he's in an amazing spot. I mean, he affords for his family. He has beautiful children, a beautiful wife. But he had to go through hell to get to it. And where I stand today, going to college, getting everything that I wanted, but not having to go through the hell he had to go through, it sucks knowing that. Like, I feel guilty. Is that weird? I mean, I feel guilty about it. I'm more than ever, I think, grateful for the decision she made, because I have the freedoms and the opportunities that he just didn't get and Olivia didn't get. And I mean, the things they went through, they didn't deserve. But, it's a part of life. The last kind of thing was my biological father. After hearing how he treated my biological sister and brother and mother, I wasn't really interested in reaching out. But I had reached out on Facebook before I was told this information. Once I was told the information, I kind of made up my mind that I didn't want to meet him in person. But I was willing to text and call. I have yet to call him. I'm planning on it. Hopefully it's better than what it was like with my birth mom. I think it seems like he's in definitely a better place. I know I have 3 other half sisters, all different mothers, same dad. But I can't judge who he is today from what he was. But I can choose what I want based on what I know. It's just is what it is. It just breaks my heart because I feel really sick. I do not explain it. My body for the past 2 days, after just diving into all this information and meeting everyone over the phone, like all of it, my brain and my mental state is like really weird. I don't know how to explain these emotions. I don't know how to cope with what's going on. I've never felt this way before. I want to cry, but I want to be happy, but I want to mourn, but I want to have empathy, and it's just like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. Obviously, I'm going to make a part 2 because I haven't met any of them in person. I would love to. I'm excited to. I want to. But like I said, I haven't. So I feel like maybe my mind and my soul will be a little more at rest once I do. So the plan is to talk about, after I meet probably Ryan and his family, how I feel. But I didn't know what I wanted to feel. And now I'm feeling it, and I don't know how to put a word to this emotion. It's just really confusing, and I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want after getting what I've wanted for years, was answers. And now that I have the answers, what do I do with those answers? I don't know. I'm more than grateful for everything I've been given in life. And I have to remind myself how honored I am to say that I have the best mom and dad ever. Because some people just don't have it that easy. And I got out of a situation I could have been in. And it's all in God's plan, of course. But I mean, that's my story. I feel like I probably didn't touch on a lot just because, like I said, I'm still trying to wrap around my head what's going on. Overall, I'm grateful, that I got to find my biological brother and all of them. It's just I need to understand what I want, and I need to understand that whatever life they went through just isn't mine. And the guilt I'm feeling, I don't know if it's necessary. I don't know if it's reasonable. They say, like, a child grows a bond with the mother while in the womb. So there's this theory and psychological evidence that a child taken from their mother kind of gains a trauma. And I think I did. Because there was a connection that I've longed for, and that I kind of didn't get through the call. And now I'm confused. Because I have this note telling me one thing, and then I'm on the phone, and it's like, it's not what I expected. I had no hope, then I had lots of hope, and now I'm confused. So I will obviously update on this journey. I mean, I've even thought about writing about it, just because I know there's kids out there that are like me that don't know how to feel, and they don't know if the love they're given is real, and it is. And sometimes they feel like they don't belong, and you do. And I think trying to share my story, I don't expect it to get out to a lot of people, but whoever it does get out to, it's meant for them. But yeah, I mean, my brain is just all over the place. So anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. That is my story, and I'm so excited to continue and meet them and just build my bond. I'm excited. I don't know what to say. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. See you on my next podcast.